WL 503. It's gonna be next week. We're gonna be there.
Yep.
Some of us watching, some will be arm wrestling.
So you and Ladislaus will be in my corner.
Yeah. We're gonna give the worst advice.
Serious advice.
The worst advice. So let's talk about some of the matchups. We're gonna talk about all the men matchups. Girls will have awesome fight nonetheless, but let's get to the men matchup. So first, Justin Bishop versus Mike Selaris. So start explosiveness. Who would you give advantage?
I would say Mike Selaris.
Yeah, he's always finds a way to be interesting on a start.
Not only because he's faster, but he's quite tricky on a start,
tricky,
and he gets a position.
Yeah.
And quite often he gets in his position where he wants.
Yeah. In some way or another, you know.
Yeah.
So endurance.
They both can pull for long, but I have had long fights with Justin Bishop before, and after some 30 seconds, his strength level, power level is
power puller.
Going down quite fast. But everything can change, and then maybe now because of this super match format, he has worked on his endurance more, and he's more ready. But again, I have to say, I have seen Mike Selaris against Holland, Mike Selaris against Mendes, and usually Mike can pull for a long.
Yeah,
he's ready for a long fight.
I would give endurance too to Mike Selaris. Technique. They both can pull in different positions. Some years ago, Bishop was just clear top roll arm wrestler. Lately, he's pulling great inside, and then he can press and he can pull even without a wrist, like he did against Ryan Bowen. Ryan took his wrist, and then Justin was able to pin him without wrist. And that's also a very possible scenario of fight against Mike Selaris as well. Maybe. Yeah. And they both can transit from do some transition from one style to another. Mike is really good from top roll and finishing with a press. But I wouldn't choose any favorite here. I think both are experienced. Maybe Mike is more experienced and have been pulling for a long, but still they both have a really good weapons too. Yeah. This is a hard match to pick a winner for me, at least. It's really hard. Like we know Justin is very good. He's very strong. He will have power advantage in my opinion. But Mike is very crafty.
He should have. I think Justin will be like if you have to pick which one of them is overly stronger. Maybe Justin Bishop is overly stronger. But arm wrestling is about position, and every one of them have some really good positions. And if they will get in those positions,
it's very hard to lose.
Just that.
So, who is your pick for this one?
I will take Mike Selaris.
Mike Selaris. Yeah. Okay, I will say Justin Bishop for this one.
That's interesting matchup, and it could be very close, and I'm not sure, but I have seen what they both have done in previous, and they both have some good days, and then not so successful days, but still. I think Mike Selaris.
I think in a lot of people's eyes, like Game of Arms made Mike Selaris very popular, and beating you made Justin Bishop very popular. That one match, one time, you know.
That was just a one match.
One match, yeah.
I came back in the final, or at least theoretically I came back and won in the final.
Yeah.
First I remember I saw Mike Selaris, I think in 2004 in the famous Lotte Tour, where John Brzenk, Travis Bagent, Matt Gerner was there, and of course Alexei Voyevoda.
When they filmed Pulling John.
Yeah, and Mike Selaris was there as well, and I remember him from already that time. So he's around for a long time, and his experience and endurance and like the ability to change. He's good arm wrestler. But yes, if we talk about pure strength, Justin probably will be stronger there. But strength is not the only thing in arm wrestling.
It's a tough call for this one. So who's your favorite? Leave it in the comment section so we know too.
Has they met before?
I haven't checked really.
They should.
I think they have. Like they both from America, so I guess they have pulled at some point. Krasimir Kostadinov versus Marcio Barboza. This is this will be, I think, very interesting matchup because it's hard to predict where the match will go. Because lately we have seen Krasimir pull in all different, in top roll more than in his hook. If he goes in his hook, then it's again like starting explosiveness. Like who would you pick?
For beginning, I think they both will go inside.
Yeah.
Krasimir with right arm, left arm, he's pulling more top roll. With right arm, he's still more inside arm wrestler, and he's known for his hook strength. And I think first match they both will go inside. It's this match have some not so long history. Not so long
Back
time
in
ago, 2017
Zloty Tour, yeah.
95 kilo class. They both were in 95 kilo class or 105.
I think 105.
105
Marcio
kilo class.
is bigger than
They both met. They both went inside. It was
2 fouls for Marcio.
Yeah,
I think he lost all the matches on fouls on that Zloty Tour. So here they are more mostly on
already then we saw that this inside power
same.
It's quite level, and it's we don't know how it would finish if
without those fouls. So starting explosiveness. I would still like to say Krasimir because even when he had his match versus Dave Chafee, he get in his position, at least with the wrist. He did some movement. He couldn't hold it, but. Krasimir is very explosive.
Start is not only about who will flash your opponent first, but about getting in a position. And Krasimir usually gets in a position with good hand. But it's same with Marcio Barboza. He can be very fast out of start, and usually like when he pulls Devon Lara, Devon is struggling with Marcio start. And a lot of other armors as well.
But Devon isn't the fastest.
Yeah, he's not the fastest. So they both I believe
a little bit even.
It's more or less equal.
So endurance. We know Krasimir has pulled long matches, like super long hook matches versus almost everyone in the world. And
Krasimir is practicing on the tables 3 times a day, every day,
only,
and he can pull for a long. And in an even super match with about same strength level athlete, I believe Krasimir will take that in endurance. But it's only about endurance. If Marcio will show up twice as strong or 2 times stronger,
doesn't matter what your endurance is.
Who cares? The same as like with Dave Chaffee before. Dave was just much stronger that day, and Krasimir couldn't get in a match.
So from technique, I would say both of them have decent techniques, but I think Krasimir is just like he has crafted his style to get where he wants to go, get opponent where he wants the opponent to be. So I think he will have the control over the match in that position from technique point.
They both are pulling for a long, and they both have some positions where they are really good, and they know what they are doing, and they know how to finish a fight from this position. So it's not really big difference. Marcio can pull top roll, Marcio can press, Marcio can pull without wrist, and he can pull in every position. Krasimir is still with right arm. Krasimir is still a more inside arm wrestler, hook arm wrestler, but this one style is.
It's very good. It's hard to pick, and the same way with the power. Like it's hard to pick someone. Like if we're gonna say like Marcio is the strongest, and then just Krasimir just goes through him like nothing, then it's hard to tell here. Sometimes it's quite winners, but both of them are usually fighting inside. So both of them are strong, especially there.
We can compare somehow. Marcio had a super match with Todd Hutchings. Todd won that match 3-2.
I think it was hard match.
It was hard match, and Marcio was able to pull with Todd in a long fight. And also Krasimir met Todd Hutchings 1 year ago in Moldova. And in a hook match, in a longer fight, Todd was better again. But it's again A against B and B against C. We will see what will happen then they will match.
Another match that is very hard to predict. You know?
And arm wrestling, you can say like 2016, 2017, or talk about some history. It's all history. We will see what will happen in Richmond, because history is important and you have to remember and know it. But when you are on table, every
time you have to win.
Every fight starts 50-50, and it starts for you, and that moment history doesn't matter.
True.
And we also don't know so specific about preparation. Preparation and how they feel that day, and one day you feel better.
This is very close matchup in my opinion. It's hard to tell because
not clear favorite.
We cannot quite, because one can show up twice as strong than the other. You know.
And I believe it will be really a hook war. I don't think Marcio will be able to top roll Krasimir, because Krasimir is so good to getting inside, and I don't think Krasimir will go for top roll as well. So it will be.
But it shouldn't be easy.
It should be inside game.
Yeah, it should be a little long match. So who's your pick for this one? I have to pick Krasimir for this one. I have to pick Krasimir. We have to support Europe.
I will go with Krasimir as well. Yeah, but it will be really even match again.
I think Marcio will show up good and he can change. And if you think otherwise, leave a comment. So we know. So Tom Holland versus Janis and Ray. Never heard of those guys. Let's talk a little bit about this match. So. It's very hard for me to say something like where you would lose at any position in the other, that like he's very tall. He's 1.90 meters, that's 6'2".
That's some serious leverage.
And the pads will be different than on this table. They will be longer, so I think that would be the only thing that would cause some problems. I have trained with Janis. We know Janis, and somewhere there's Raymond Antonovic, and he's in super shape. And
Raymond's in super shape.
And Janis has been beating him like crazy, preparing for this match. And let's not talk about your opponent. Let's talk how you feel. How you feel about this one? You feel that you prepared good, or?
We can always I'm in good shape. Yes, I am. Have I been in better shape? I believe I have been in better shape as well in my life, and it's always question: is my maybe 90 or I don't know 80 or 95% of my best shape will be enough for
his 100%.
I don't know about his 100%.
We don't know about
So, but I'm feeling good, and I have some small minor maybe problems, but I believe they will be not so bad to give me some trouble.
You feel because like if I have to state the match, it won't be fast match, but it will end 3-0 for Janis. You're going for that hammer. That's the purpose of this. Win this one.
We'll see. If we talk about again same parameters like start explosiveness. like 10 years ago and 15 years ago, I felt like I'm not losing any start. I'm always same or even better in start position or getting in my position. I'm not getting younger, and Tom is known for his explosiveness, and I believe that's his main weapon, or one of his possible weapons to advantage, to get in a good position, to get in a position where he wants. That's like, if we talk about endurance, usually I can pull it for a long, if I'm more or less in a decent position, I will find a way how to beat my opponent from that position. But if I'm getting in more or less in my position, I want.
It's same endurance together with technique, because you can pull in almost any position. You can find that. So it's very hard to fight with you, because you always find a spot where opponent is weaker. And sheer power, I think you just dominate there. Like maybe not the power of one move. You're not like. You're not a hook puller, so you're not super strong inside, but you're strong inside. No.
We will see. We will see. With Tom, lately he's known for his inside strength, but a few years ago he was really good with the top roll as well. He won a super match against Dobrlin, who has been European champion. He won a super match against Andreas Hofner, and he had a lot of wins against Craig Sanders, and also win against Joseph Love. So those are world level names.
Who's your pick for this one, Janis?
Janis Amolins, 3-0.
Yeah. So if you think otherwise, don't comment. Okay. So main event of the evening. I'm very excited to see this matchup live, and Dave Chafee versus Michael Todd. This is very interesting matchup. Dave Chafee has been known to be like number 1, number 2, number 3 all the time with the right arm in the world, like for past I don't know how many long years. And Michael has been there, and I think Michael has had more opportunities than Chafee to get that throne in PAL, in WL. So, start and explosiveness. Who would you give advantage to here?
Dave is really good with his wrist and hand movement, and usually he's attacking opponent's pronation.
Yeah.
And also working with his back quite good. He's not super fast, but he's good with getting in position.
And we know that Todd isn't very fast, but his only time when he's very fast is when he tries to go for his tricep.
Yeah.
So do you see him in winning the match with this tricep press?
Not directly from.
Not first round.
Not from beginning. He could win with a press, with a triceps, with a side press only after some longer fight in his defensive position. Yeah. Not directly after ready to go.
Yeah. So start explosiveness, I think it will go for Chafee. Endurance. Undisputed champion is Michael Todd, I think.
It's again a question like, is Michael Todd most endurance arm wrestler in the world? Maybe no.
No, but his king's move is very hard to come
but if you pull in a position like this, it's just it's again question of positions. Yeah. You are just spending much less energy or much less strength if you're pulling in. If you're pulling in such places.
Your muscles are not getting. You just hang there.
Yeah, so. But still, his hand, his fingers, his wrist are really quite good endurance, and we have seen he's doing quite reps. He's preparing for a long fights for a super match format. Yeah. So he's really good in those long fights, and he's getting better and better in those long fights.
Yeah.
And even before he was pulling so much in this so-called King's move. Even before, he was good in long fights. He were able to pull in every position, and then he's always known for having good endurance.
Yeah. So technique. Like Michael has one of the best techniques that is so hard to come over. You know, to beat him from there, and to beat Michael, you need to basically tricep pressing. Like most of the times, it's if you don't win him on start, you have to get that tricep press. Flop wrist, it doesn't matter, but you need to get that. And I haven't seen Chafee using that. Maybe he has never needed it, but Pushkar needed it, Trubin needed it, and Tsiplenko needed it. Everyone needed it.
Yep.
Yeah, so everyone needed it if he has that. So because I think he will win this part, but can he finish the match? So from technique, Michael's technique is better.
If we understand this technique, like strength that you have, and have to use your strength, your ability most effective.
Yeah.
So Mike is using his
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So if we talk about both standing in good position and we start and pull here in a side against side
wrist or anything,
or wrist.
Chafee. Yeah. That's with power. I think Chafee wins power game.
Yeah.
Power game, he wins. I don't think Michael can even stand in the middle of table with him. I think it's gonna be straight away to the king's move. So this match, my predictions for this match. So the first 2 rounds will be for Chafee. I think he will win because I don't think Michael will go straight away for the king's move. And if in round 2,
Mike will go for very beginning for king's move, I believe. Question is,
can he get to the position fast enough? Yeah.
And if he will stop Dave in a good position, and he could hold him for maybe 30, 40,
maybe
60 seconds.
Less seconds, maybe less.
That could be done.
Then he can win, because I think first or second round will be for Chafee, and when Michael stops him, Michael wins that one. And my prediction is 3-2 for Michael Todd, just because I think it's the stylistically this isn't the best match for Chafee. If it would be someone else, everyone else on the planet, I would say Chafee can beat him. And
I would say also, Mike.
Yeah, he's very bad.
In a super match format, he's terrible.
Yes, you don't want to pull him. If they call and give you Michael Todd, you say no, thank you. But if Chafee has worked on his tricep press, then he might surprise us. Then he might end this 3-0.
We can remember 2017 World Armwrestling League final. Todd and Dave Chaffee, they met in it.
Yeah.
Some of few first rounds, and I'm sure first or second round. And first time they won.
Yeah.
And
in first time he just took his pronation like this.
Yeah.
And you cannot get in the king's move from this position.
And I think at first Nick Zinna give a really hard time for Mike, and he burned him out.
Yeah.
And after that they won, and then Travis Pageant had a long fight with Michael Todd.
Yeah.
Michael Todd won, and in the final Michael was able to came back, and he won twice in a row.
Yeah.
So of course 2 years is a long time, and a lot of things can change.
But looking like not so recently, Dave Chafee versus Gennady Kvikvinya on Vendetta 50. Like after round 3, you started to see that he fades away, and it was 4-2, 4-2. And if there was 2 extra rounds, I don't think he would won those rounds.
Very possible.
And Gennady doesn't have a king's move, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, he's very strong and very good at working those, but I think it's going to be very hard for Dave Chafee.
For Dave Chafee, if I would place of Dave Chafee, the worst thing is try to get till a pin pad with the first move or after
you need to get his rotation.
If you get his rotation, if you have a hand control, stand up, think a little bit. You still need a good back pressure, still need a really good hand, and then try to transit for a press.
Yeah.
That's a most effective way to win against such style.
Yeah.
And that's the thing what Trubin did. That's the thing what Andrei Pushkar did.
Yeah.
Andrei was pulling,
and
pushing, and trying, and then at one moment he's realizing that it's not moving, and then you need to stand up and start to think what's happening.
Yeah.
And if Dave has practiced such a tactic and he's ready for this.
Yeah, if
he could see some surprise.
Yeah,
of course, it's not a surprise to see that Dave is winning.
But if there's never easy match versus Michael Todd. No one goes through him like easy. Yeah, so it was with Tsiplenko was 4-2 and Pushkar it was 4-2 and Trubin it was.
Pushkar, no. In the last times they met, Pushkar was winning. I think Mike was 0. Yeah. Michael in none of fights Michael was able to even press through center. All fight was in
in winning side.
For Michael in losing position.
But I hope we will see some surprises, and I don't think this will not be easy match. I think this will be interesting. So I think this is a very good
Michael is getting
main event.
Michael is getting better and better in his King's move. He knows how to use it. When he pulled Devon Larratt, he was good, but he was not so good in this position still yet. No, he's much better. Lately, he's improving. He's improving his style, and he's using it really effective.
Yeah. So that's it for WL 503. We're gonna be there. We're gonna make some videos, talk with athletes, support Janis. So subscribe to the channel for more info. Thank you for watching.
That's enough for today. I have to do some.
Jan's gonna go and work out. Stay strong.
Yeah, some fast workout.
Armwrestling.